Can you picture this situation? There was a driver, completely calm, focused on training for the next season, absolutely certain that he would sign a contract renewal with one of the most traditional teams in Formula One, when a phone call completely changed his reality. The call did not come from the team director nor from his representative. It was an acquaintance who revealed to him that his position had just been handed over to none other than Lewis Hamilton. This is the shocking story of Carlos Sainz and how Ferrari kept him completely in the dark until the very last moment. What you are about to discover will show you how the driver market really works in Formula One, where loyalty is a word that does not exist in the vocabulary of the teams. Carlos Sainz has shared with brutal transparency how he found out about his replacement by Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari, revealing some truly surprising details. The story takes place in late January or early February 2024. Carlos Sainz was in intense physical preparation for the season, totally focused, convinced that he would once again be driving a competitive Ferrari single-seater. The Spaniard had rigorously followed his preparation in December and January, dedicating himself intensely to that campaign. Discussions about contract renewal with Ferrari had been going on since October, but in a peculiar way, always being postponed. However, here's the most surprising aspect. Sainz never suspected anything. Ferrari kept sending positive signals, stating that the contract extension was guaranteed, representing only a matter of adjusting financial aspects and some secondary clauses. The Italian team's managers assured that it would be a quick and simple procedure, with everything resolved before the first race of the 2024 season. Carlos Sainz entered the European winter with this calm mindset, imagining that everything would work out naturally. He had complete confidence in Ferrari's word and believed it was merely a formality. Imagine the peace of mind he felt, the conviction that he would continue wearing Ferrari red for a few more years. Then, the unimaginable happened. In mid-January, at the end of the period, Carlos received a call that would completely change his destiny. But it wasn't Ferrari who contacted him. It was an acquaintance, someone outside the team, who got the information before the driver himself. The acquaintance called and revealed the devastating news. Lewis Hamilton would replace Carlos Sainz at Ferrari for 2025. The Spaniard's reaction was one of absolute shock. He went from being totally confident that he would remain at Ferrari to discovering that Lewis Hamilton, the seven-time world champion, would be taking his place. In a matter of seconds, all the security he had was transformed into a desperate question. What now? What will my fate be? Sainz admits that he never imagined this could happen. The way it was all executed was simply shocking. While he was preparing for another season defending Ferrari's colors, the team had already reached an agreement with Hamilton behind his back, keeping the Spanish driver completely in the dark until the last possible moment. What makes this situation even more surreal is the timing. Ferrari's decision to hire Hamilton was made even before the 2024 season began. This indicates that both Sainz and Hamilton competed in the entire championship, knowing that it would be their last with their respective teams. Sainz had to face this psychological pressure throughout the competition, knowing that each race could be decisive for his future. Carlos's revelation shows how he needed a full week to assimilate the news and accept the new reality. For those who know the Spaniard's temperament, who has always been balanced and controlled, this reaction demonstrates the magnitude of the impact the news had on him. Sainz is known for keeping his cool, but even he needed time to process such a change. But here comes the most fascinating twist in this whole story. Sainz says that this shock, this traumatic situation, actually made him a better driver. From March, April, and May 2024, he says he showed the best version of himself as a race driver to date. The blow he received from Ferrari served as fuel to extract a level of performance that perhaps even he didn't know he had. Sainz's mindset after the discovery was pragmatic and determined. He understood that there was absolutely nothing he could do to reverse the situation. Hamilton's contract with Ferrari was already signed. There was not even a 1% chance of change. So instead of lamenting, he directed all that energy into seeking alternatives and proving his worth. The Spaniard contacted every team possible, explored every opportunity, even those with only a 5 or 10% chance of success. But when he realized there was no way to reverse Ferrari's decision, he simply moved on, focusing on the next options available and using all that extra motivation to prove himself on the track. The result of this determination was 2 Grand Prix victories in 2024, doubling his total number of Formula One wins to 4. Sainz was linked with virtually every team on the grid, including Red Bull and Mercedes, before finally signing with Williams for 2025. However, the transition to Williams was not smooth. Carlos struggled early in the 2025 season, with his teammate Alex Albon scoring 46 points to Sainz's 13 at one point. However, the Spanish driver showed resilience, scoring in 5 of the last 8 races and showing clear signs of progress. Carlos Sainz's story reveals a brutal reality of Formula One. No matter how competent you are, no matter how loyal you have been to the team, when an opportunity like Lewis Hamilton comes along, even Ferrari does not hesitate to make drastic changes, even if it means leaving a talented driver completely in the dark until the last second. The way Ferrari handled this whole situation raises serious questions about transparency and respect for drivers. Keeping Sainz in the dark for months, offering false expectations while already negotiating with Hamilton, demonstrates a corporate coldness that surprises even the most experienced observers of the category. At the same time, Sainz's reaction reveals exactly why he is so respected in the paddock. Instead of playing the victim or creating unnecessary drama, he turned all his frustration and disappointment into fuel for performance on the track. This emotional maturity is one of the qualities that make him one of the most complete drivers on the grid today. What is most striking about this narrative is how a potentially destructive situation has become a catalyst for Sainz's personal and professional growth. The shock of being rejected by Ferrari unlocked a level of performance he didn't know he had. This raises an interesting question. Do we sometimes need a violent push from fate to discover what we are truly capable of? The arrival of Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari has certainly changed the entire dynamic of the Italian team for 2025. With Charles Leclerc alongside the 7-time world champion, the pressure for results has increased exponentially. Meanwhile, Carlos Sainz faces the challenge of rebuilding his career at Williams, a historically successful team looking to return to its glory days. This revelation from Carlos Sainz reminds us that behind every change in Formula One, there is a human story with real emotions, genuine disappointments, and dreams that need to be readjusted. How he deals with this adversity may well define the next chapter of his career in the pinnacle of world motorsport. Now I want to know, do you think Ferrari made the right choice in trading Sainz for Hamilton? Was the Italian team's handling of this transition professional or disrespectful? And will Carlos be able to prove that Ferrari made a mistake in letting him go? Leave your opinions in the comments. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any analysis, and share this video with other Formula One fans. See you in the next video.